Good morning. We're gonna go live in about 4 minutes. I'm glad that you're here. I'm so happy we're starting our day together. If you want to be a contestant on Prize Pond today, the number is 601-557-CAT1, 601-557-2281. Text me your first name, and I might be calling you to play a game live for a prize this morning. Ugh, so exciting. I love the Prize Pond. 601-557-2281 is that number. I'll see you in about 4 minutes. Seven o'clock, straight up on March 4th, 2021. It's time for the morning aMEOWncements. Thank you so much for being here. We've got such a great show for you. I'm going to give you all the headlines so you don't feel left behind at work. And we're going to get into the prize pond where you can win a prize live. The number to text your name to is 601-557-CAT1. That's 601-557-2281. Text your first name there. I might be calling you to play Prize Pond. But before we get into any of that, do we remember, I think it was Monday that we did this story, of the cat that loved cereal so much, Fruity Pebbles specifically, that Post Cereal made him his own custom box. His name is Trash Panda. He's the emergency services mascot for Fulton County in Illinois. He's just so stinky cute. Well, it's crazy, because I was at the craft store yesterday, and I came across this chocolate bunny. Now, the chocolate bunnies, Easter's coming up really soon. I love a good chocolate bunny. I always start with the ears. You always start with their ears first so that they can watch their demise. It's got actual Fruity Pebbles candy in it. And if Fruity Pebbles are good enough for Trash Panda, certainly they're good enough for me. And I thought we could give it a go. Oh my gosh, actually look at how crazy this thing is on the back. It is just packed with cereal. Now, I wouldn't normally be a big fan of something like this, except I had a Fruity Pebbles milkshake one time, and I was like, that's not gonna work. The Fruity Pebbles are just gonna get soggy and gross. They didn't. They stayed crunchy the whole time, and it was delicious. So, we're gonna give our chocolate bunny here a good... Actually, that's really good. Oh, yeah. It tastes like you took a bite of Fruity Pebbles cereal. Actually, what it really tastes like is diabetes at 7 in the morning, so thank you for that. If you're looking into the Fruity Pebbles chocolate bunny, I'd highly recommend it. It is delicious. I'm going to save that for a time that's not 7 o'clock in the morning. What's been going on with you? Text me 601-557-CAT1, or hop on over to the live chat and just say hi in there so I know who's there. I like to be really interactive in the morning, so it's really fun to be able to chat with everyone. All right, I think it is time to get ourselves into the news. The Morning Muse, as my roommate called it. I think we're just going to start calling it that from now on. The Morning Muse, the headlines that you need to know about before you get your day started. These are pop culture headlines because the real news is heavy for me sometimes. But I want to get started with comedian Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings from the show Whitney. She has a podcast called Good For You. It's really popular. I think Whitney is one of the funniest people ever. I'm a big fan of hers. Well, on her podcast earlier this week, she decided that she wanted to honor her friend Jennifer Aniston. I guess they've been friends for a long time, even before Whitney was like a really big. In fact, she went to Jennifer Aniston's wedding with Justin Theroux, and afterwards she was on an interview with Watch What Happens Live, and she goes, I was the least famous person there. But they've always been really close, really tight, and so she wanted to honor her by getting a tattoo that says, I heart Jennifer, or I heart Jennifer Aniston. So she had mega influencer Hannah Stocking come onto the show, not a tattoo artist, by the way, and tattoo I heart J on the bottom of her foot. This is what it turned out to look like. It is so bad. And that, my friends, is why you go to a reputable tattoo artist for things like this. Also, tattooing the bottom of your foot, I can't imagine, must be like the most painful thing in the entire world. I couldn't even sit there. I don't like when like the cat tickles my foot a little bit when I'm sleeping. I freak out as if I'm being attacked. I don't know what I would do if I was actually being attacked on the feet. But I hope the pain was worth it. She thinks it's hilarious, and she is a comedian, so at the end of the day, this is just what she does. But I don't know, man. That's on you forever, at least for a long time. I guess the bottom of your feet probably wear out pretty quick, but ooh, I think that's a rough one. All right, moving on. Jimmy Kimmel, he always does these great on-the-street bits that I love. And he did one in honor of Dr. Seuss's birthday, which is also known as Read Across America Day. And he hit the street asking people, hey, can you name a book? Not a specific book, not even a book that you've read recently. Just, can you name any book? And I'm going to let you see how that went.
Can you name a book?
Geez, on the spot, I can't.
Can you name a book?
Oh, no, that's a bad one. What's one of the ones they make you read in high school? Fahrenheit something, 470 something?
Can you name a book?
I love food.
Is that a book?
Yes,
What is it about?
it's food.
Yeah. The clip is much longer than that. There were so many people who could not name a single book. So I did some research into this, and it turns out that the US is number 28 among 214 countries in literacy, which is not awful, but considering the amount of money that we spend on education in this country, it should be much higher than that. 32. I also found that 27% of Americans say that they have not read a single book within the last year, and that number was 32% of men, 1 in every 3 men has not read a book in the last year. And those are just the ones being honest about it, because that's a hard thing to admit. Which is very frustrating to me, because I'm a nerd and I really like books. And maybe it's just hard for people to find a book that they're really into. So I went upstairs to my bookshelf and I thought I'd give you a couple recommendations of some of my favorite books. Starting with, obviously, like, Jurassic Park. This book is exceptional. The movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably like my second favorite movie of all time. Second after Mean Girls, sorry about it. I have watched it a million times. It's great. The book is even better. It's so good. It gets really deep into the science. There's all sorts of other stuff that's not in the movie. This is a copy that I've obviously had for a long time. I bought it from the library at a used book sale in middle school for like nothing. And I've taken this all over the place with me. I've read it a million times. I've taken it to Costa Rica. I cannot recommend it highly enough. If you're looking for something to get into, it's easy because it's Jurassic Park. You already like Jurassic Park. Another thing that I'm really into is dystopian future, and Hunger Games is great, but if you like that one, you should get what I would consider the gold standard in dystopian future, George Orwell's 1984. If you haven't read it already, it was written in the 50s about 1984 and the dystopian future of an authoritarian government who took over. And it echoes so many things that are happening in current events, and also it's just fascinating because here's the dirty secret. What they don't tell you in high school when you read this book, because they're all like, oh, it's all about these big government things, and it's just like, yawn. It's a love story, and it's probably one of the best love stories I've ever read in my entire life. These people are willing to risk death just to spend a couple of minutes together in a secret house sometimes, and kiss even though they're not supposed to kiss. George Orwell's 1984. Read it. It's exceptional. Even if you were supposed to read it in high school and you didn't, I promise you'll like it. Then we've got this one. If you are not into fiction and you'd like to read something about... I love nonfiction. I read a lot of biographies. This is a biography called Wu. Wu was the first and only female emperor of China. Not empress. She was the emperor. She was the god. And she killed and schemed and manipulated and spied and did some horrifying things to get power and retain it. So this book is called Wu, the Chinese empress who schemed, seduced, and murdered her way to become a living god, by Jonathan Clements. It's a good one. It's hard though, so if you don't like the true crimey stuff, probably not going to be for you. And finally, this book changed my life. I know how silly it looks because it's a cartoon book. It's a graphic novel, but it's based off of the blog by the artist. Her name is Ali Broche, and she talks about some heavy stuff in here. Obviously, it's all a lot of really funny, silly stuff, but there's this whole chapter on depression that helped me understand depression in a way that I didn't know before. She talks about how she's like, I saw this DVD that I was supposed to take back to the video store, and it was just right there on the arm of the couch. And I walked past it every day, and I would look at it, and it would stress me out, and I'd be like, why can't I do something so simple as take a movie back to the Blockbuster? And then she gets into it, and she gets into depression, and that's when, I started to realize that that's probably something I need help with too. And now I am seeing a therapist, I'm on medication. This book literally changed my life, and it's a cartoon. You're gonna love it, it's hilarious. So those are the ones I'd recommend for you to get started if you're looking for a good book recommendation. Don't end up like those people on Jimmy Kimmel who can't name a single book, including Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings, or the Bible, To Kill a Mockingbird. I mean, even if you've never read any of those books, you know the names. It's so crazy that happened. So, go read something. Go to the library. Pick something up. It's good for you. And finally, last story of the Morning Muse. Mariah Carey is being sued by her brother for things that she said in her new book, The Meaning of Mariah. She talks a lot about how she had a rough childhood. I guess their mom was crazy abusive. And she talks a lot in the book. I haven't read it yet, but from what I was researching, she talks a lot in the book about how her brother had rage issues and he had a temper. And she says that she never felt safe in the house because of her brother's behavior. Well, now he is suing her because he's saying it's hard for him to get a job, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. I thought at first, I was like, this boy's just trying to get some of his sister's money. It's always the case. Someone gets successful, the family comes for the money. That's not what this is about at all, I guess. Maybe not at all, but it's mostly not what it's about. He is seeking something called a judicial decision, which is like a few steps up from moderation. You actually go before a judge, you both plead your cases, the judge will then hand down a decision. Now that decision, it doesn't sound like he's going for money. I think what he wants is a public apology. I think he wants her to issue something that says none of this was true and I'm sorry. But that's going to require him to be able to prove that, and that's going to be really hard. It's going to be hard for either of them to prove either of what they're saying, because it's all hearsay, and also family drama, which, you know, it's messy and complicated. Now, her brother's not the only one suing her either. Her sister Allison is also suing her for defamation. Very similar to the reason that her brother's suing her, except her sister is straight up suing for damages, no less than $1.25 million. But it's really crappy because her sister says, like, I am penniless. She took cheap shots at me. I have no money. I don't have any way of defending myself. I don't have a platform, and I'm not able to answer back to those things that she's saying so publicly, and that does suck, and that's not reasonable or fair. And if you want my honest opinion on it, Mariah probably should have just changed the names of everyone in there to, you know, protect against things like this. But I guess we'll see what the courts have to say. I also wonder how much of it is defamation if it's just your true, real life story. If you actually did the things that Mariah said you did, sorry, brother, there's nothing you can do. And that is the Morning Muse. Thank you so much. Okay, before we get into the prize pond, I do need to take a minute to thank our patrons. Patreon.com/NightCatShow is a way that you can help keep Nightcat on YouTube. You can keep doing this. We can keep doing this live stream if we get enough patrons. We can keep doing every week bigger, better episodes of Nightcat with Nightcat. We also have the Nightcat Radio podcast, all new equipment. None of this would be possible without our supporters on Patreon. I've got two levels here. You've got the $3 level and the $5 level. They each come with different benefits. They're both super fantastic. And listen, I get it. If you can't donate, that's totally cool. It would be awesome if you could, if you have the ability to. I would love it. And what you get when you become a patron is you get a shout out on the show. So I do want to thank the following patrons. Rachel Woodland. Thank you so much, Rachel. I really appreciate it. Rachel Carden, also a Rachel, and they also spell it in very similar ways, which I think is interesting. Olivia Goodman. Oh, you beautiful monster. Olivia was actually one of the ones who was like the first merch order ever. She got a shirt, and I'm really excited for it to show up so that I can see a cute picture. So Olivia, thank you so much. If you'd like to support the merch store, nightcatmerch.com is the way to do that. If you don't have Patreon money, but you do have merch money, I love merch money too. Let's see. Norma Barton. Thank you, Norma. I really appreciate it. Mindy Pace and Mindy Millet. They are all patrons. They are all the reason we're able to do this in the morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the support. You too can join the club. Become a patron today, patreon.com/nightcatshow. I usually post some behind the scenes stuff up there. We talk, I bounce ideas off of them. They have a heavy hand in planning the show. It's an awesome program. Patreon.com/nightcatshow. All right, I think that means it's time for the prize pond. Let's head on over here and see who called us. By the way, I got a phone now, and the voice should be working. So I'm gonna come over here and see who wants to play. I might be calling you, so get ready. Oh, yep, there we go. How about we give you a call? Oh, it's ringing. Oh, it's ringing.
Hello?
Hey, is this Marissa?
Yes.
Marissa, it's Nightcat. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so stinking good. I am so excited for you to play Prize Pond. Are you equally excited?
Yes.
Awesome. Have you seen us play Prize Pond before?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the gimmick. Behind me, I've got fish tanks. We call these fish tanks the prize pond. I also have a fishing pole and a fishing net back here. I'm going to ask you which one you would like. Each of them has a fantastic prize attached to them. So, Marissa, would you like the hook or would you like the net?
The hook.
You're going to go with the hook. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh! Okay, let's see here. We've got... Oh, it's a rubber ducky that looks like a cute little calico kitty. That's very nice. How do you feel about rubber duckies in general?
I kind of love them.
You love a rubber ducky?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, he's got cute little cat ears and cute little cat whiskers. Now, here's the thing. He's adorable. And I think that he would go great if you already have a collection of rubber duckies. But he's not the only prize back there. If you want right now, I'll let you switch from the rubber ducky cat to whatever is in the net. Would you like to switch?
Yeah, let's see what's in the net.
You want to switch? Oh, I love when we switch. Let's do it. All right, let's see. Ooh, we got a fighter. Oh, these are so cool. This is a little tea candle that looks exactly like a donut.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that so cute? So congratulations. I will make sure that that is in the mail for you. What are you up to today?
Just getting ready for work.
Getting ready. What do you do for work?
I work for an online retailer.
Oh, that's cool. So like, do you do like fulfillment or are you like a marketing?
Fulfillment.
Oh, very nice. So if I don't get my packages, you're the reason. You're the person I need to call and yell at.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait for us to have a negative interaction because this has been nothing but positive.
Fair. Yeah. Give me a call.
Awesome. All right, Marissa, I will shoot you a text asking for your information in just a little bit. But thank you so much for playing.
Thank you.
Hey, have a good day at work. If you would ever like to be a contestant on Prize Pond, we play every morning, and all you gotta do is text your first name at the start of the episode to 601-557-CAT1, 601-557-2281. All right. Well, I'm looking through my notes, and I think that's everything. Thank you for starting your day again with Nightcat. We've got a new episode coming out tomorrow, and that'll be the last of the week, and then I'm gonna sleep for an entire weekend because this has all been a lot of effort, but you have made it so worth it. You've been so sweet. Make sure to please like this video, share this video, leave a comment. It helps a lot if you text it to a friend. If you, as a friend, reach out to your best friend or, a family member with a link to your favorite episode or your favorite bit, whatever it is, and text it to them, it always ends up getting a click. So that's the power that you have. You can help us take this show to the next level, and thank you so much for everything that you've done so far. A couple quick more plugs before we get into the 3 minutes of fish. We've got the merch store, nightcatmerch.com. Go check it out. Here's the new warm milk mugs. They're so cute. It's got the Nightcat logo on the back. So there are a few different mug designs. Phone cases. I also got the phone case, finally. Boom! I love it. So you can find that and so much more over at the merch store, nightcatmerch.com. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. And you can find every episode of Nightcap with Nightcat and Morning aMEOWncements as an audio file on the podcast. Look for Nightcat Radio on your favorite podcast directory. Down in the description of this video / the podcast, if you're listening to the podcast right now, you're going to find a link tree. That tree will take you anywhere else you want to go. It'll take you to the merch store, the Patreon, Nightcat Radio. It'll take you to all of my socials, all of the show's socials. It'll take you everywhere that you need to go. All right. Until tomorrow, here is your 3 minutes of fish.